Shabbat Shalom, and welcome back. Sabbath reading time. I hope everyone is having a very restful Sabbath. I will not be premiering this video. It will just go online early in the morning. So, yeah, that's how that works. Alright, so I left off right at chapter 20, Exodus chapter 20. If you do not know or you are not aware, I am reading from the scriptures, and I started at the very beginning of the book. The videos go all the way back that far. There is a playlist. They are mostly in order, trying to keep them that way. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I try. Alright, so Exodus chapter 20, the father had come to the mountain, and Moshe is about to receive the laws. Actual receiving the laws. Now, it's been said and pretty well proven that the laws were in existence even before this, but the only reason he had to give them to them now in writing is because of the 400 years of servitude, slavery in Mitzrayim or Egypt, and the law was spoken, passed on person to person before that. When you look at the first books or the first chapters of Genesis, how the Father was speaking to people such as Adam and several others. Adam walked with him. It is commonly thought that the laws were given in speech and passed down from generation to generation until the 400 years of slavery, and then the people had forgotten. So, yeah. Anyway, chapter 20. And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery. You have no other mighty ones against my face. You do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. Look into generational curses. But showing loving commitment to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands. You do not bring the name of Yahweh your Elohim to naught. For Yahweh does not leave one unpunished who brings his name to naught. Remember the Sabbath day to set it apart. 6 days you labor, you shall do all your work. But on the seventh day is a Sabbath of Yahweh your Elohim. You do not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your sojourner, stranger, who is within your gates. For 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore blessed the Sabbath day, and set it apart. Respect your father and your mother, so that your days are prolonged upon the soil which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you. You do not murder. You do not commit adultery. You do not steal. You do not bear false witness against your neighbor. You do not covet your neighbor's house. You do not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, or whatever belongs to your neighbor. And all the people saw the thunders, the lightning flashes, the voice of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. And the people saw it, and they trembled and stood at a distance. And said to Moshe, You speak with us, and we hear, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said to the people, "Do not fear, for Elohim has come to prove you, and in order that his fear be before you, so that you do not sin." So the people stood at a distance, but Moshe drew near the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Say to the children of Israel, you yourselves have seen that I have spoken to you from the heavens. You do not make beside me mighty ones of silver. You do not make mighty ones of gold for yourself. Make a slaughter place of earth for me, and you shall slaughter on it your ascending offering and your peace offerings, your sheep and your cattle. In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I shall come to you and bless you. And if you make me a slaughter place of stone, do not build it of cut stone, for if you use your chisel on it, you have profaned it. Nor do you go up by the steps to my slaughter place, lest your nakedness be exposed on it." That's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, chapter 20. A lot of people get verse 13 incorrect. A lot of translations say, "You shall not kill." There's a big difference between killing and murdering. If you do not kill, how do you eat? Even if you cut down a plant and eat a salad, you killed it. How do you go anywhere if you're on foot? Every time you walk through the grass, you step on something. Just saying. Chapter 21. These are the right rulings which you are to set before them. When you buy a Hebrew servant, he serves 6 years, and in the 7th he goes out free for naught. If he comes in by himself, he goes out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has bore him a son or daughters, the wife and her children are her master's, and he goes out by himself. And if the servant truly says, "I love my master, my wife, and my children, let me not go out free," then his master shall bring him before Elohim, and shall bring him to the door, or to the door post, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. The things people do for women. Right? And when a man sells his daughter to be a female servant, she does not go out to the male as the male servants do. If she is displeasing in the eyes of her master, who has engaged her to himself, then he shall let her be ransomed. He shall have no authority to sell her to a foreign people because of him deceiving her. And if he has engaged her to his son, he is to do to her as the right of daughters. If he takes another wife, her food, her covering, her marriage rights are not to be diminished. And if he does not do these 3 for her, then she shall go out for naught, without silver. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall certainly be put to death. But if he did not lie in wait, but Elohim delivered him unto his hands, then I shall appoint for you a place where he is to flee. But when a man acts presumptuously against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you are to take him even from my slaughter place to die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall certainly be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. And when men strive together, and one strikes another with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be innocent. He only pays for lost time and sees to it that he is completely healed. And when a man strikes his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall certainly be avenged. But if he remains alive a day or two, he is not avenged, for he is his property. And when men strive, and they shall smite a pregnant woman, and her children come out, yet there is no injury, he shall certainly be punished accordingly, as the woman's husband lays upon him. And he shall give through the judges. But if there is injury, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, and lash for lash. And when a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he is to let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of the male or female servant, he is to let him go free for the sake of his tooth. And when an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall certainly be stoned, and its flesh not eaten, and the owner of the ox is innocent. However, if the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has been warned, and he has not kept it confined so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox is stoned, and its owner is also put to death. If a sin covering is laid upon him, then he shall give the ransom of his life, whatever is laid on him, whatever is gored, a son or gored daughter, according to the right ruling it is done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he is to give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox is stoned. When a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit is to repay. He is to give silver to the owner, and the dead beast is his. And when the ox of a man smites the ox of his neighbor, and it dies, then they shall sell the live ox, and divide the silver from it, and also divide the dead ox. Or if it was known that the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has not kept it confined, he shall certainly repay ox for ox, while the dead beast is his. If only life were still like this, we would have a lot less crime, wouldn't we? Just saying. I'm going to go ahead and get through 22, and I'll probably stop there. So, we have more to say here. When a man steals an ox or sheep, and shall slaughter it or sell it, he repays 5 cattle for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. You have to pay a lot more back than what you took. If the thief is found breaking in, and he is struck so that he dies, there is no guilt for his bloodshed. You see that right there? Now tell me again, thou shalt not kill. Tell me again. If the sun has risen on him, there is guilt for his bloodshed, and he shall certainly repay. If he has not the means, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is indeed found alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or donkey or sheep, he repays double. When a man lets a field or vineyard be grazed bare, and lets loose his livestock, and it feeds in another man's field, he repays from the beast of his own field, and he repays from the best of his own field, and the best of his own vineyard. When fire breaks out and spreads to thorn bushes, so that it stacked grain or standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall certainly repay. When a man gives silver or goods to his neighbor to guard it, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he repays double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought before Elohim to see whether he put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For every matter of transgression, for ox, for donkey, for sheep, for garment, or whatever is lost, which another claims to be his, let the matter of them both come before Elohim. And whoever Elohim declares wrong repays double to his neighbor. When a man gives his neighbor a donkey or an ox or sheep or any beast to watch over, and it dies, or is injured, or is driven away while no one is looking, let an oath of Yahweh be between them both, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept that, and he does not repay. But if he is indeed stolen from him, he repays to its owner. And if it is torn to pieces, then let him bring it for evidence. He does not repay what was torn. And when a man borrows from his neighbor, and it is injured or dies while the owner of it is not present, he shall certainly repay. But if its owner was with it, he does not repay. If it was hired, he is entitled to the hire. And when a man entices a maiden who is not engaged and lies with her, he shall certainly pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he pays according to the bride price of maidens. Do not allow a practicer of witchcraft to live. Anyone lying with a beast shall certainly be put to death. I have no commentary to add to that. That's pretty straightforward there. Now, obviously, we're not advocating people go around, doing such things in this day and age, but if only. He who slaughters to an Elohim, except to Yahweh, only is put under the ban. Do not tread down on a sojourner, or oppress him, for you were sojourners in the land of Mitzrayim. Do not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you do afflict them at all, if they cry out to me at all, I shall certainly hear them cry. And my wrath shall burn, and I shall kill you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Let's just stop there for a second. I shall certainly hear them cry, and my wrath shall burn, and I shall kill you with the sword. This is the Father speaking here. He's going to kill you with the sword. Such a pacifist. Yeah, I'm in a very sarcastic mood today. 25. If you do lend silver to any of my people, the poor among you, you are not to be like one that lends on interest to him. Do not lay interest on him. If you take your neighbor's garment as a pledge at all, you are to return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What does he sleep in? It shall be that when he cries out to me, I shall hear, for I show favor. Do not revile an Elohim, nor curse a ruler of your people. Do not delay giving your harvest and your vintage. Give me the firstborn of your sons. Likewise, you are to do with your ox, your sheep. It is to be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day you give it to me. And you are set apart men to me. And you do not eat any meat which is torn to pieces in the field. You throw it to the dogs. We will continue with chapter 23 next week, obviously. We are going into the laws, obviously. There are a lot of things in there, such as the stonings that the sins were paid for by Yeshua, otherwise known as Jesus. And you have the ability to repent and be forgiven thanks to his sacrifice. That does not give you the right to sin that much more and just keep asking to repent. And that's the only thing I have to say about that. Thank you for watching. Shabbat Shalom. Have a very blessed week. And I'll be back next time.